Hello. Yes, good morning everybody. I hope you can hear my voice and also see my screen clearly. So today's the last day of the week. This is 17th of April 2020. We would like to see exactly what we are having on this chart. So first of all, we'll start by explaining whatever is on our screen. This is the strength meter. We do have Japanese yen being the strongest. So Japanese yen the strongest, and then we have the New Zealand dollar the second strongest, and then we have the weakest Swiss franc, and then we have the British pound being the most weakest. So if you were to trade anything today, we are going to trade a combination of either these two and the last two, or any of them. So just ensure you get a combination that has either these two or this one, then that's the one which you're supposed to be trading. So that's according to the strength meter. On if we compare trend, we have Euro USD where we have a very good downtrend. We have Euro JPY, we have a very good downtrend. And then we have Euro GBP, we have a very good downtrend. And then we have Euro AUD, we have a very good downtrend. And then we have Australian Japanese yen, Australian US dollar, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. And then we have Australian dollar, Swiss franc, and Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. We have very good uptrend. Then we also have Chef GPY where we have a very good downtrend. So if you are to trade today, ensure you're only trading a combination that has the either clear trend and we have strength to it. So we're not going to trade anything unless it has trend and also strength to it. So let's start with our main symbol. We'll start off with the Euro USD. We see exactly what we're having there, Euro USD. I will start here. So this is what we expected previously. We actually had a shape, an expanding wedge formation, which we expected after the bounce from this point. The price was supposed to go up to this level, which it did, and then supposed to bounce back maybe up to this point before continuing upwards. That did not happen. The price continued down, went below, and as I'm speaking now, we are still heading to the lower side. So this is a very good sign that we are possibly still continuing to the lower side. So on this chart, I actually recommend looking for sell positions. I'm not going to buy anything. We do have a support here which has been broken. This one here, we have a support here. This has been broken to the last side. Have this one. So we have a support which is broken up again above, then below. As I'm speaking now, the price has actually gone below the entire zone. So this is still a very good place we want to sell from. So if you're looking at this chart now, you should be expecting a sell position, especially while the price is still being held below this zone. As long as this is true, that the price is below this point, expect a possible continuation to the lower side, most probably up to this level here. So this is where we want to sell from. We want a retracement. If the current hour candle closes below 1.0845, then we'll simply wait for a pullback up to this point where we'll pick a sell with a stop loss above this point here, and then our take profit should be fixed here. So we'll move to GBP/USD. Let's see what we have there. So GBP/USD, so far a lot of things are happening. We expected a pullback up to this point. Instead, that did not happen. The price didn't do as we expected. So as it is now, we actually expect a continuation, maybe a possible break below this point here, then a retracement, so that we can pick the second phase of sell. This one, this should be the correct place where we want to sell it from. Since the price didn't give us the correct opportunity to sell it here, we still have the opportunity to sell it, especially if the price goes below 1.2441, 1.24378. If this happens, then this will give us a correct place where we want to sell it from. So we're going to move forward to our next symbol, USD/JPY, and this is what we expected previously. We wanted a pullback up to this point, and then a breakout above, a retracement, and then a continuation to the upper side. So if you bought it within this range, you are stopped, but if you bought it here, you are not stopped. So this one actually gave us the correct opportunity to pick a buy. This place here, this is a very good place where if you actually took a buy when the price was here, you're supposed to have taken profits as I'm speaking now, because this is the correct place where you should have taken profits from. So as it is now, we are waiting for a pullback again. We want price to clearly come back up to this point here and then bounce off from that level. This is what we expect to be happening entirely. This is what should be happening. So if the price comes back again the second time, maybe up to this point here, then that should give us the ideal place where we want to buy it from. So the idea is not to pick a buy now, rather wait for price to get in between this range here, then pick a buy position with your stop loss below this point, and then your first take profit should be here, then the next take profit should be at 108.294, this level here. So we move forward to the next symbol, gold. Gold has gone successfully below our level. We expected a retracement and then a continuation up to this point. So if you took a buy here, as you said yesterday, you actually hit our take profit. It was hit. We had the take profit here. It was hit. As I'm speaking now, the price actually went lower and even broke below the support which we had here. So this means that the price needs to get back so that we can pick a sell from that point. If you're looking at gold as I'm speaking now, expect a sell when the price pulls back to this level here. If the price can come back up to somewhere in between 1711.18, 1707.81, then that should be the ideal place where you want to pick a sell from. So with that sell position, expect a continuation up to this point here, then expect another continuation up to this level, and then expect another continuation up to this point here. So if you pick a sell there, your first take profit needs to be here, 1688.21, 1668.31, and the last take profit should be at 1644.03. So we'll move forward to our last symbol. We'll look at Brent oil, and you can check the webinar which we did previously on Brent oil. It was actually a very good explanation of why the Brent oil is actually moving to the lower side. So let's see what we're having now. This is what we expect to be happening yesterday. We expected price to move down, most probably break below 29.202, and then continue downwards up to 26.715. If it went below this level, it was supposed to go up to 25.361. That has not happened just yet. So as I'm speaking now, we actually have a shape here. This is a very good trend line. This is like some expanding wedge being formed. I'll delete that. I'll delete that also. And then I make this 30 minutes. So if you put 30 minutes, you should be able to see it clearly that this is the price is somehow consolidating within some range. We had a resistance here. We had a resistance, and the support. So the price needs to get to this level here. If we are to do anything, the price needs to come back up to this support, then possibly bounce off from it, and then head straight to the upper side, where if it breaks above this trend line, we do expect it to continue up to 3263.6, and if it bounces off from the same place, then that will give us a correct place where we want to sell from. So this is going to give us a good place to sell it from, and most probably the price needs to go below 29.202. So a pullback, and then a continuation to the lower side. This is what we expect to be happening. So if you successfully pick a buy from this point here, you're supposed to wait for a sell there, or you're supposed to wait for a sell when the price goes below this level here. So expect a sell, a continuation to the lower side, and most probably a break below 29.202, and then a retracement, then continuation to the lower side. So this is what may happen. And the same thing applies to the higher time frame. We are looking at just the same chart from a lesser time frame. Now we are back to 1 hour. This is what could be happening. So if you sell it below the trend line, the lower trend line, below this trend line, expect price to proceed most probably up to 26,715. So thank you very much. That should be the end of today's webinar. If you have any questions, kindly feel free to post them on the chat option, and I should be able to respond to them when I see them. So I'll leave this running, the strength meter. I'll leave it to run for some times. Sorry, we've not looked at one chart. We've not looked at SP500. So this one, we had a sell yesterday. We did have a sell. We expected a sell. Most probably we expected price to bounce off from this point, head straight to the lower side, most probably break below 27.55.7, and then retrace back before continuing to the lower side. So that didn't happen. The price could not break below this support. Instead, it gapped up earlier today. So that gap is okay, just that it has gone above a resistance. So what we want to happen is for the price to try filling up that gap. If the price can move down, most probably up to this point, then this may be a good place to buy from. If the price can pull back up to somewhere around 2813.7, then that may be a very good place where we want to consider picking a buy from. As it is now, even a bounce from this point, 2851.6, may give us a good place to buy it from, or we may want to buy it when the price gets to 2813.7. So thank you very much. That should be the end of today's webinar. We meet again on Monday the same time. See you.